Hello. Hi, everyone. Well, everyone or anyone who's joining. My name is Helena. I'm from Gink Design, and you're live on my page. So obviously you should be following me. I'm probably share this to other groups. So if you don't know me, my name is Helena. I'm from Gink Design, and I am based in the north of Ireland, where the alarms are going off. And today I am using woodubend. And I'm going to be doing this pumpkin. You can see just in the perfume, I'm going to be doing the pumpkin with woodubend. And it's just something different for Halloween. That's not, last year I done steampunk and a bit gory. And this year I think I'm going to do pretty. So there's nothing prettier than woodubend. So hi Ali. So I'm going to get, I'm going to get started because I don't have much time because I have to take the child to hear the alarm. I have to take the child to the train station. So I'm going to move you that you're on my shoulder. I think that's a good way for everyone to see. Hi Ali. For everyone to see the pumpkin, not me, but the pumpkin. So I have all the different bits of woodubend. Woodubend, this is the third series. And this is the new packaging, which is fantastic because it has, as you can see, the number of the woodubend that you're using. So you can keep these as reference for the next time. So I'm going to do this pumpkin. This stuff here, as you can see, if I have time, I'm going to do a bit of painting, but if not. So this stuff that's drying is Annie Sloan 2-part crackle, because I would like the pumpkin, all my nails are orange to match the pumpkin. Woo, very Halloweeny. I want the pumpkin to look aged and crackled, so I'm doing a 2-part crackle system on it. This is part 1 and it's drying, so I'm hoping it will be dry by the time we're ready to paint. All my chalk paints, you can see I've got some Annie Sloan. I've also got some Annie Sloan Old Pure, and I've got some Primer Red because I think it works very well Halloween. I know I have nails. Oh look, Gemma Louise Pierce. So this is the glue I use, which is Tight Bond, and I have my Ryobi heat gun. I have my little baking tray. This little tin tray that you roast your chicken in. I think it's good because it retains the heat once it's heated up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this beautiful big centerpiece on. Now that is fabulous. Look at the detail on that. You can see the detail. So that's going to be there, and then we're just going to wing it, I think, and we're going to use lots of little bits around it. This is a pumpkin of 2 halves. This half is flat, and if I turn it around, then the other half is very round. It was the ugly pumpkin that nobody wanted, and in my I like everything that nobody else wants. I thought it was cute. So yes, I have the ugly pumpkin, and we're going to make it really nice. So I'm going to get started by eating this one first. I like to put it in this wee tray. I've got the other bits in there as well, so they all get a wee bit of a blast. Sully Jo, who owns woodubend, she has an electric griddle that she just keeps her woodubend at a constant heat, ready to be used. I'm definitely not at that level yet. So the woodubend is soft, but because it is large, by the time I spread the glue out, it might need another blast. It might have started to go hard. And this is just something fun, something different for Halloween to do with your pumpkin. Now, when my pumpkin is dead or rotted or whatever, when Halloween's over, I will just remove these from the pumpkin and use them You know, they won't go to waste and they won't be thrown away or anything. So I'm just going to spread out the glue. I have the glue, but you need to spread it out and make sure that all the woodubend has glue on it, because you don't want any of it to lift or any of it not to be stuck. So you can use a wee brush, you can use your finger, or you can use whatever, and just spread it all around. Just make sure you have enough glue. Probably put a wee bit extra on it in the middle, just to make sure that it adheres. So it's pretty much covered, but it's went just slightly, it's not as bendy. Hi Caroline, thanks for joining. I'm just doing a wee bit of a pumpkin today. That wee blast of heat is just what it needs to be bendy again and go around the corners of the pumpkin. I love Halloween too, Caroline. Okay, Jenny. And every year I do steampunk, or I do gory, or I do one year done Carrie White. Do you remember at the end of that movie? There was a grave and it said, "Here lies Carrie White," and I had the grave in the garden. But this year I thought I'd try and go a bit pretty, maybe. So I'm just going to give that another wee blast. I'm just going to hold it in place while it cools down. Yeah, so I thought, Matthew, I know I'm very coordinated, Sarah. And by accident. It wasn't even meant. My toes. Okay, now we're going to get silly now, and it's only 5 minutes in. But my toes are orange to match. So yeah, everything matches the collar, matches the cuffs. Right, so that's that one on. It's not gorgeous. So then I'm going to do a trim around the top. And I might do, I was going to do like those little ones. See those little ones? We would have got these. Anyone was at the painters conference would have got these. I was going to do these like droplets going down. But I think so when you're doing the trim, I'm going to put this trim up here. When you're doing the trim, try and keep it in its circle while you're heating it. And it will just expand when it's ready, and then you'll know. It's like my William Morris print dress. Isn't that a lovely fabric? That's a William Morris wallpaper design on a dress. Caroline says her neighbour just out of front door decorations up 3 black witches in the garden. There, like your neighbour. So this is going to go around the top. So have I got my knife? Right, I don't have my knife, so do you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to break it with my hand, because you can do that when it's soft. Right, maybe I have to just break off in sections and do a little section at a time, you know, like that, to put it around the top. So yeah, I just thought I'd do pretty this year, and I've got napkins. So on the other side, this side has this big one on, but on the other side I was going to decoupage some pretty flowers or something. But then I'm chalk painting this one, and I'm going to do a paint effect like an old patina. So it's going to be cool. I'm just taking that up because I want it to go in and around the top of the pumpkin, over the what do you call that? It's not a stub. Is it a branch? It's not a branch either. See, what do you call that knobby bit at the top of the pumpkin? I'm just putting another wee bit of glue down. Does anybody know what you call the knobby bit at the top of a pumpkin? I don't. See, when I first moved in here, it was my first house. I used to have like big torches, big, fire burning torches in the garden. I didn't think about health and safety. I was only young myself. And it used to be like something medieval when you came to my house trick-or-treating. And yeah, they used to be all afraid, and I used to think it was hilarious that they were all afraid. This is drying, so as the Annie Sloan 2-step starts to dry, I'll maybe just be able to show you very quickly a bit of crackle, because we are on a time, limited, because I have to go to the train station with my little goth child who dresses like it's Halloween all year. So yeah, so this is nothing new to them. I think their whole wardrobe is black, and then maybe a bit of pink or a bit of yellow. And this is definitely their holiday. They just love this time of year. So usually I would take away the excess glue, but I'm not, because I'm going to paint. I'm going to be painting quite a thick. I also have some salt wash. I'm going to be doing texture. So there's going to be crackle, and there's going to be texture, there's going to be metallics, and there's going to be decoupage. Everything's happening on this wee pumpkin. So as you can see, how cool does that look? I think that looks pretty damn cool. And as I say, when Halloween's over, I'll just take, when the pumpkin's rotted, I just take these off, sand them, give them a bit of a clean, and they're ready to go again on something. So it's not as if you're wasting any of your woodubend using it on pumpkins, but it does look amazing. I had looked on the internet and the World Wide Web. So I had looked on the interweb for really large, like plastic pumpkins, or but to be honest, you can't beat the real thing. You just can't beat. I had looked at polystyrene ones and that, but I think at Halloween, you just, when they're available, go with the real thing. I think they're definitely the best. Now my kids are all big, so there's no more trick-or-treating. But I still get dressed up on Halloween and scare the little darlings when they come to my door. And I usually get them to stick their hand, God, I sound awful, stick their hand in a bowl of jellied eyes until they find a prize, which is usually an eye. Usually is no prize, but I tell them that. Anyway, and last year there was no trick-or-treating. I don't know, is there going to be trick-or-treating this year? With COVID, do we know? Is it allowed again? Maybe, maybe not. So we might not be able to, or not we, because we're past it, but the wee ones might not be able to go trick-or-treating. Right, so that's a bit on this side. I'm going to do a couple of wee, like leafy things. And these will all be done gold, probably, and metallics. And because they've all been in the baking tray, when I've been heating the other ones, then these ones, because they've been in there as well, they don't need as long heated. So I quite like just keeping them all in the one thing and heating them all at the same time. As I was saying, when the heat gun was on, Solly Jo has an electric griddle that she just has plugged in, and it keeps her woodubend at like a constant heat, so she doesn't have to keep doing this as much. So we're on to the third series of woodubend, which is fantastic. So this is series 3. And every time it just gets better and better. As I say, I love the new packaging. I love some of the designs. Can you see how fantastic the detail is in something as simple as a wee flower? So, and the new packaging means they're because obviously when they're going through the postal system, they can take a bit of a knocking. But the new packaging really protects them. So how are we looking? How are we doing? Is that looking all right? So I'm going to just turn it around a wee bit and do the trim across the top. And I just want like that much. So I'm just going to break off. I'm going to break off what I need. My hands are covered in glue. Okay. And then I might do a little bit, once I get this bit on, I might start with a little bit of the crackle and let you see just the little bits that are going to be crackled. Let you see that in action. So I'm just putting that one in there. Putting it around. So I really want this to bend in around the top of the pumpkin, like so. So if you can see how it's really bent in up and down around the top of the pumpkin. And then I have another little leafy bit that will come out of there and down. Okay. But that's the front of it so far. I think that's looking really good. Hi, Karen. Thanks for joining. Just having fun, Halloween fun with the pumpkin. And I'm just going to do a little tiny bit of crackle. So this, so Annie Sloan crackle is in 2 parts. You have part one, which is like the base, and then you have part 2. So what I'm going to do is I have already got part 1 on here, and then I'm going to come in with part 2. If I can find a brush handy, I should have brushes here. Yeah. Ooh, apologies. Right, I've got brushes. So part 1's here. I'm going to put a little bit of part 2 on part 1. Now this is Jonathan Mark Mandel. This is his. There's a bit part 1. This is his technique that he taught me when doing this. Let's see. There's another. So part 1. Any bits for part 1 is it's shiny. Right. So I'm putting a little bit of part 2, and then what I'm going to do is I'm take one of my little milk paint, one of my little cups. And take one of my little things, stirs, and my paint. Right, so I'm taking Annie Sloan Pure, and I just put, so put about 2, can't say 2 spoonfuls when it's 2 spatulafuls, and then I will do the same. I'll do the same with the part 2, so about that in, and give it a good mix. So this is how Jonathan does his, and I did it on a bedside table then, and it worked really well. Got really big cracks, and that's what you want. Well, that's what I want when I'm doing crackle work. I want you to be able to see the big cracks. Some people do a very subtle color, and I was just saying, do you like my dress? Do you like my dress, La? Do you see the pattern? It's a William Morris wallpaper in a dress. It's not cool. If I could take this dress and make it into curtains or something, I would. But yeah. So now the paint is runny, and that's perfect for applying it on top. So I'll turn this around again this way. So remember, it was here. So I'm going to put it on. I'm going to bring you in a little bit closer. And I'm going to put this on, and then I'm going to dry it with the hairdryer. Not with the hairdryer, with the heat gun. And hopefully you will see it crackle in front of your eyes. Now, I don't want to work too much at it. And then when I get that crackle, I can go in and highlight it with some wax. And then obviously when I'm painting around, I'll paint around this bit that is crackled. Ooh. Alright, heat gun. Alright, so I'm going to turn it round. And put the heat gun on it. Hi, Mummy. So I can see the cracks starting. Add a little bit here. Back around this one. So you can see the crackles starting to work. Ooh. So you can see the crackles coming and starting to work, and that will keep on crackling. And I will be painting, painting it all. I'm doing some crackle, doing some texture, and when it's finished, it will look oldie worldly, and it will be fab. So that's how you do your crackle, your two-part. I'll just turn it around this way. You can see that it's still, the heat gun activates it, but it still keeps crackling as it goes on. So we are at 25 minutes, and that's where I'm going to have to leave it. I was going to just do a little bit of paint work, a little bit of texture, but I'm just going to have to keep going on. And when I'm finished, I will post the results. The colors I'm using will be Cujo, Amethyst with Cujo. Look at those together. Brilliant. And Primer Red, and some lavender, and some, I know there's always a word to find, and some Mason Dixie Grey. So these are all the colours that are going to be used to paint the pumpkin, and then this is going to stand out with the metallics. So we have some lovely woodubends here, here, and as I say, when I'm finished, that's my 25 Yeah, 25 minutes. But yeah, I'm going to be doing the rest of this tonight and get it finished and post it tomorrow. But honestly, if you have some woodubend lying about, if you have any type of thing like that, think outside the box doing your pumpkins. I haven't got my decoupage stuff to hand. I'm not using an expensive decoupage paper. I am using napkins. So the packet of napkins was £1 for 20 napkins for your dinner table, and that's what I'm using to decoupage the other side of the pumpkin. So you can do it very, very thriftily. You can do it very cheaply. You can make your molds. If you have molds, you can make your molds out of resin. If I had one, I would show you how to reactivate them. But if you've made your molds out of resin, casting resin, and they've hardened and they're brittle, put them in the microwave seconds at a time, and they will soften. They're not now. Obviously, they're not going to be as good as woodubend, but they will soften a wee bit that you can put them around a wide corner or something. So they're also good. That's also a good wee tip for your pumpkins. Would I be able to use the redesign? Would work with the yes, perfect. Yes, Caroline, that's perfect. And make your resin mold, and then have you them made? Have you them made already? I'm too close to this. Go away, camera. Hate the big close-up. Horrible. Right. So if you've made them already, and they are cold, then put them in the microwave. If you've used that casting resin that I told you to get, did you? Oh, you haven't made them yet? Right, well then, do you know what's a good, right, this is another good tip. I'm full of good information tonight. So if you haven't made them yet, if you get your pumpkin ready, make your molds, and then sit with them. You don't you know the way sometimes you just put it in, you walk away, and then you come back about an hour later. So sit with your molds for about 10 minutes until they're ready to come out. And as soon as they come out of the mold, they will be bendy. They don't harden up, I think, for about 10 minutes after that, maybe 20. So if you're ready to go with your pumpkin, or whatever your project is, make your mold, make your resin with that casting resin I told you. And when you take it out of your mold, it's bendy for a while, not only for a while. So be ready to use it. And do you know what? Do your pumpkin, go and get a cup of coffee, and then they'll be ready. And then they're bendy if you don't want to chance putting them in the microwave. But the microwave works really well. Jodie told me, Jodie Flavel from Decor's Vintage Design, she is the resin. She taught me everything I know about resin molds. She is brilliant, and it was her that told me to put them in the microwave. Although I did forget about them and burn them one time. So yes, Caroline, perfect. And I'm going to finish this in about an hour. I'll have to take the child to the train, and then I'd post photos. And you'll see the pretty pumpkin that's not covered in gore and guts like usually at my house. So thanks anyone who watched. Thanks Karen, Caroline, Mummy, Ali. Thanks everyone, and I will see you all. See you all tomorrow. Got them on again tomorrow. I'll see you all tomorrow at 6. I'm doing art deco. Yeah, art deco. Bye.